Good morning, guys. Well, we're going to have things a little bit different here today. Rob's not going to be so uptight. That's what's going to happen. No, actually, usually I have to feel like I need to know, like, real clearly what's going on, man. Just Mission Impossible. And other times, if I don't feel that, I don't want to do the video a lot of times. And today I'm doing something otherwise. I'm just going to talk about different things instead of feeling like it's got to be one subject. But the topic, I wrote this at the top. Who are you? If you're a Christian, I want you to, in this video, I want you to let what we talk about here define who you are with God. Not what you think you are, or your friends, or your pastor, or any of those things. We want to find out who we truly are with God. I just want to say this first. I was reading this morning in a devotional about the children when Jesus said to have the spirit of a child. When I was reading that this morning, and I always take notice of there's times where they'll say about children the way you shouldn't be, childlike behavior. And then but yet there you have Jesus saying, be like the child. So it's kind of contradictory, but I was talking to somebody saying you have to look at both of what they're talking about and then determine where that middle is that they're referring to. On November 19th of 2005, when I finally got sober for 6 years, I was falling to pieces. When I pulled over to the side of the road, I said that I threw what basically amounted to a temper tantrum. And that's really what it was. But you think about that. That is like a child. That was the state I had to finally get to, like a 2-year-old. Fine, you do it, God, and I was in a little huff. And so that's where I ended up, is a childlike state. August 18th of 2019, when we got sober here. Same thing. I was in a crumpled ball like a little kid. If you don't humble yourself like a child, this is the point from God. He will. He will. Hey, by the way, I got a coffee stain on my shirt here. We're going with it, man. We're going with it. I'm just not into the work of changing. Anyway, just so you know, I was looking in Proverbs today, Proverbs chapter 2, verse 7. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. He is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the path of the just and protects those who are faithful to him. So I want you to ask yourself, when you're alone, there's two things I want to ask you. When you're alone, if you're a guy, probably specifically more so, but a woman too, because with a man, where are your eyes going when you're out? A woman recently, I was talking about the pornography thing, and she had commented to me saying that women comparing themselves to other women, judging the other woman and comparing themselves, she was saying that that's sin also. And so that kind of thing, great point she made, Melissa. And so these are the areas where your eyes are at, guys, and where your mind's at. Usually if your eyes are in the wrong spot, the little theater is already going there. But the point is it's both of them. It's not just one. One's running the other one. So let's get real here. But what's going through your mind? Where are your eyes looking when no one's watching? Forget about what your pastor or your worship team or whoever you're part of at the church thinks about you. I'm asking you this question personally. Who are you with what I'm talking about? That's who God sees you as. That's what I want everyone to understand, is we have to look at it exactly the way he is. What are we looking at? What are we thinking about? I was thinking about it today that I'm just going to be honest here. I'm glad I'm doing this on video. You can't write some things. I'll have these little, things happen. I'll just be honest here. And then all of a sudden, this little movie theater goes on in your head of you, or whatever, angry thoughts are going through your head. And then all of a sudden you catch yourself, well, at least I do nowadays. But man, I'm telling you, the movie that goes on before that is usually pretty good. And But the point is that I let these things repeat over and over in my head. And in that little theater is what God's watching. What I'm sitting there and thinking, and it's about the heart and the motives. So when we finish this video, I want everyone to look at your life and just ask, where's your heart? Where's your true motives? Are you being deceitful and lying? And then if you are lying, you might be justifying it because we've all been there. I want you to tell this about the pornography thing. People say, oh, you're being over the top. And here's the thing is, am I? Let's ask this question. Forget about pornography. If you are, and that could be the only thing the guy is doing that I'm talking about is pornography. Let's just say you're an employee in a company. You are the star, man. You're the star salesman. And at the end of the day, you're the best salesman, best customer, best everything. You win all the awards, best in the company's ever had. But at the end of the day, when you're counting the money, you steal half of the cash every day, $1,000 a day. It doesn't matter how good you are. I found out when I got fired from my DJ company. It didn't matter how good I did and all the accolades I had and all the, number one ranking. It doesn't matter. If Tom Brady gets found before the Super Bowl day smoking crack in a hotel room, he probably will lose his job. Doesn't matter what he's done in the past. It's about what we're doing behind the scenes, guys. It's about what we're doing with the eyes, with the mind. That's what God's paying attention to, and that's what I'm asking you. Everyone needs to judge their Christian life on that, because that's what God's seeing. He's seeing your heart, your motives, the comparison, like Melissa said, or all these different things. This is important stuff, guys, for us to pay attention to. But the point is, that employee, doesn't matter how good they are, and that's what God sees with the righteous guy who's watching porn while he's at the men's conference in another city on his pay-per-view in his hotel. So then, let's see here. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 2, verse 19. Chapter 2, verse 19. 16? Wait a minute. Sorry. I should get glasses. There we are. The man who visits her is doomed. He will never reach the paths of life. It's talking about a guy visiting a woman who's with another guy. Here's what I want to tell you guys. You think, you shouldn't do that. Guys, understand this. When you're watching pornography, you're doing that. When you're staring at another woman who's standing with her husband and you're thinking this, that, and whatever, you're doing that. The man who visits her is doomed, and he will never reach the paths of life. If you keep visiting her here, it's the same as visiting her at her apartment. That's the point. Never find the path. If you're that guy, are you that guy? That's what I'm asking you in this video. Only you know that. That's the great thing about this forum, I guess. The online thing is I found with the porn. I tell you, man, don't do Zoom. I apologize to everyone I invited to a Zoom meeting. Let me just throw in a little comedy here. Check this out. We have a Zoom meeting for stopping pornography. And I didn't think about any of this stuff. Rob's new. So I start the meeting, and I started seeing some issues that could come up because I'm using Zoom. And so I'm what ended up happening was even worse than that. But I didn't think about the fact that, guys, people don't want to know. The point is this: somebody pops on. Hey, Bob, how are you? It's good to see you, Bob. And, Bob's, cover my name up and down at the bottom there. It puts your name there. It's got your video. Everything somebody who's struggling with this doesn't want. We want the little dark picture with the profile. Anyway, so it was difficult. I was greeting and introducing people together. Not what I should have been doing. And then somebody sabotaged the meeting with pornography. live on their bed. So, anyway, I want to talk about one thing real quick here. Where are we at? 10 minutes. I was at a men's group one night, and we were talking about pornography. Is me and another guy. Well, he made a comment as I was talking to him, saying that, you have to get that out, man. I said, you have to get that out. And he said something to me, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but I came back to him. He said to me, he says, man, but when you've had a long, hard day, and it's been rough, and that's all he said, and he was insinuating, please understand this. This is important for you to understand. You have to get this through your head. He was insinuating that it was a cookie. It was a treat. Please understand. It's about the heart. What does God say you should be viewing pornography as? A cookie or evil? It is about, you cannot defeat this if you don't view it as evil from the heart and from the core, from the start. That's where you win in this battle, not from the outside stuff. You have to change your heart. This is much more difficult than just stopping pornography, guys. It is about changing who you are inside. But I told him, I went back to that guy, and I said, we got a problem here. And I said, the problem is that you are viewing pornography as a treat. You're viewing pornography as a treat. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. It doesn't say the fear of the Lord is to sit and, gee, it sure is tempting. That's like, are you tempted to watch child porn tonight? Same thing. It's like, that's repulsive that you would even ask that. That is how you should be viewing pornography. And the fact that you're drawn to it is a problem here. So, anyway, I just want to say one last thing here. Talk about this. This actually didn't work out too bad. The 30-minute marriage. I want you to ask something. When we talk about you get your prayer and your Bible time in, liken your married life to your relationship with God. Now, I want you to ask yourself, if you came into a marriage and you went into the closet and you prayed for the marriage for 15 minutes, and then you went and read your Bible and thought about the marriage for 15 minutes, and then you went upon your day and you never talked to your wife, and she might even try to get your attention and you just blow her off, and you in your actions of the day you don't show any attention to your wife at all, and then the guys find out at the church about this, what do you think they would say? What do you think they would say? Hey, Rob, that marriage isn't going to work out. You have to show your wife love and attention. You would say that's common sense. Well, here's the thing is, when you look at your relationship with God, is that not what we do? I'm telling you, man, I'm guilty, much more guilty in the past, but I would go days without not only Bible reading, but I'm not thinking about God at all, in the past. And it's all about where your heart and mind is. When you come out of that closet, in your relationships with God or your relationships with your wife, either one, you have to then come out of the closet and put what you just prayed about with your wife into practice and show that it works in love. The same thing goes with your life with God. We have to put this into practice, guys. It's not about reading text to each other, spoon feeding with a bib on. God expects us to take care of using the restroom and reading and those things on our own, in my opinion. We've got to take this word when we are together and put it into practice. That's what we're here for. And anyway, comparing your relationship, this is what I want you to do. Your marriage. I want you to compare your marriage to your relationship with God. Is my point with the God thing is it finally worked with me when I started thinking about God when I came out of the closet in the Bible reading for the other 23 hours and 30 minutes. That's what's important, because it's showing if any of these things even worked. Same thing with your wife. You can say and profess and pray all you want, but it's what's happening in the day-to-day activities that really matters, not what you're claiming and raising your hands for on Sunday. And so, guys, let's start putting this stuff into practice. And I want to just ask everybody again, who are you? knowing everything we've talked about in this video, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. Where are your eyes going, guys? Where is your mind at when you're sitting at work, when your coworker's out selling you, when you don't like another coworker, and though that's your enemy. And I want to finish on one thing. I'm glad God just put this back in my mind. I was thinking I was going to end on this. Is today. I'm going to have a tip of the day. I don't drive anymore, but when I did, I never had problems with road rage, anger on the road. And there's one reason, and I want you to try it today. When you're out and somebody does something that makes you mad, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever done that before? Because when I would have somebody do something dumb in front of me, and I would, that moment where you get angry or whatever, the first thing that would come to my mind was, oh my God, I did that yesterday. So I don't know. How do I get upset at somebody? We've all done everything that they're doing, whatever it is they're doing. We've most likely done it ourselves. Paused, waited too long, anything. So just remember that on the road, man, we're all screw-ups. We really are, man. So, guys, let's start putting it into practice and ask yourself, who are you? Start examining yourself, and let's start changing that life, who we are behind the scenes, where only God can see. I love you guys.